I believe pastors need to cultivate contentment because Christians need to cultivate contentment. So the scriptures command in Hebrews 13 that we need to be content. It's a command to be content. And then we have that model with the Apostle Paul in Ephesians chapter 4, that he demonstrates that he is able to be content, whether he has a lot, whether he has a little. He is able to be content through Christ. So that's really part and parcel of what it means to be a Christian, is to be growing in our contentment. So a pastor is to be someone who's mature and who's a godly example of what it means to be a mature Christian as he equips others in contentment. So pastors need to cultivate contentment because they're Christians who are mature. And some of the temptations for pastors, some of the ways that they might need to do that, just because of the temptations, would be a temptation towards discouragement. Ministry is hard work. And so sometimes we could have circumstances that are not things that we had hoped for or wished for. And so it's difficult. And then that could bring us down and bring us low. And that's why the Apostle Paul is such an encouragement, because he tells us that he's learned contentment. So this is not something that all of a sudden you get ordained and you're zapped with contentment and you're ready to go. But rather, it's something that you learn through a long process at the University of Jesus, where you're studying, you're working, and you're growing in contentment. So the Apostle Paul, in jail with Silas, through that trial, he demonstrates his contentment, even singing hymns and praying to God in Acts chapter 16. So that discouragement could be there, and you need to learn contentment to battle through that. But then there's also the other side, is the pride. So let's say God richly blesses the ministry, and you could be at a place where you could feel like, man, this is all because of me and what I've done and my wisdom, and the temptation there to be prideful, and then you would be truly discontent because you're going to be chasing that, whatever the next thing is. And so that contentment, if you're cultivating contentment, it helps to refocus you on God, who is the source of our contentment, the source of every blessing, and really the source of our ongoing sustaining joy. So the secret to that, as Paul says, is Christ himself. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So we cultivate an intimacy with Christ through prayer, the time in the Word, the regular means of grace that we would prescribe to our people. Those are the things that us as pastors need to do. And if we leave those off, then we're going to leave off our pursuit of contentment. And if we pursue these things, then we're going to grow in our contentment.